Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to get right into the weekly for Cancer. Alright, you're up next. One of my watchers was asking for this video, so I decided to do it next. And you're going to be premiering right after I'm done with the video and I upload. Alright guys, so this is it. This is the weekly reading for our lovely Cancer sign for the week of November 17th to the 23rd. And we're going to get right into it. Pull out your romance angel messages. Give your relationship a chance. This is a message that's been coming out for a lot of signs. Romantic feelings. I love that. Romantic feelings, very nice. And passion. Ooh, passion is nice. So this is good, right? We're talking about relationships. This is hopefully, this will be healthy relationships intensifying, right? So let's get right into your romance, your animal spirits. Now the animal spirits come in and they can be energies that are available to us, or they can be representative of people that we're dealing with, right? And so take it as it resonates. Sometimes they can also indicate stages in our lives that are coming in. So if it applies to you, Cancer, fine. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. And I'm going to be going right into doing the December love readings right after I'm done the weekly. So I'm going to try to get some of those out this weekend. Starfish. Wow, water energy, starfish, interesting. Fire energy, lizard, came out just a little while ago as well for one of the other readings. I believe it was Capricorn, could be. And the peacock. Oh, very, very beautiful animal spirit. Let's get right into it. The starfish. Well, the starfish is someone who is mesmerizing, right? Their beauty is just absolutely breathtaking. Whenever you're around them, you just are like, you can't stop looking at them. You know, you're just so in awe. Something about that quality, you know, and it really is. It's just that they're so beautiful. They carry themselves in such a way. But this is all very external. And the starfish is, oftentimes the starfish relies on this ability too heavily and sacrifices a deeper calling, right? And so here we talk about someone who's a bit too shallow for their own good and really need to learn to let go of this kind of crutch. Yes, they have an effect on people. They may be beautiful, but beauty does fade. And also, not only that, there are deeper, experiences and values to get out of life when you show a deeper side to yourself, right? You may be feeling good now in the spotlight because you look good and you're beautiful, and you may be have that effect right now on people, or you may be in an industry where you're having that effect. But is there not something inside of you that is really, really special, a special calling or skill or ability that you can share with the world, a talent, a deeper talent that you really need to find and share with the world, because, you're doing yourself a disservice in a lot of ways. Now, you could be resonating with this, or you could be dealing with somebody who's resonating with this energy. And it's a learning process. It's a process of coming out of, relying on sort of easy external favors or blessings that we've been given, rather than doing the work and overcoming your fear, really, and letting something deeper out. Now, the lizard is fire energy. The lizard talks about having a very, very heightened sense of perception. This is the king of extrasensory perception, and the lizard is so heightened, and his instincts and his perceptions are so heightened that oftentimes the lizard is, may see things before they actually materialize, or hear things before they are actually heard, sound before the sound is out, or before they arrive. It's a feeling of clairvoyance, a heightened sense of extrasensory perception or psychic energy in a lot of ways. Now, oftentimes, though, at times when this happens, this can be, sometimes the lizard can be an indication that there's too much going on. There's too much sensory perception happening. There's too much data coming in, too many energies. And sometimes the lizard can get really sort of like frantic, frazzled, dried out, worn out, just exhausted from taking in so much energy. And if this is something you're dealing with right now, it could be time to really pull back. Just pull back from the world a little bit and recenter your energy. Lizard has come up for a lot of the readings for the weeklies so far. And I would like to say that probably indicates this feeling of, along with what I've been saying in my readings in November, there's a clearing out period, but there's this huge abundance coming in. There's also a very heightened sense of energy field coming in December. It just feels like energies are riding high, There's going to be an increase of sort of, messages coming in, abundance coming in, blessings coming in, signs coming in, omens coming in. All of that's it feels very much like that's going to be heightened. And those of you who are extra sensitive to that may need to take care and pull back a little bit. It's going to be a whopper of a month, December. With that Jupiter aspect, good God. And peacock is the air quality, air elemental, and the peacock is a very, very rare animal spirit. This isn't a rare person to come across, because the peacock is one of these people who is the embodiment of beauty, but inside and out. This is a person who is beautiful, absolutely gorgeous, inside and out. They resonate with just being, a lover of beauty and of life. There is no ego with the peacock. Although we talk about people who strut around like a peacock, and I guess that's associated with ego, but in truth, the peacock animal spirit is actually associated with the absence of any ego in the presence of true beauty. And so somebody like this is very, very rare to come across. They oftentimes see beauty in others. They see beauty everywhere, and they're not competitive about it. They're not egocentric about it. They never compare themselves to somebody else in some way of saying like, well, I'm more advanced, or I'm better, or I'm prettier. They don't even talk about people being jealous of them. Oh, well, everybody's so jealous of me. I mean, that's an egotistical statement to say. Whether somebody is jealous of you or not, like, what do you care that somebody would be, full of such a negative energy like jealousy? Like, why would you actually revel in something like that? Only an egoist would say that, right? And so the peacock is one of these people who they don't see jealousy. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you see jealousy in other people, then you must know jealousy and understand jealousy. And then jealousy must be something that is in you. Do you understand what I'm saying? If jealousy is not something in you, then you wouldn't assume or you wouldn't see it in others, because it's not an energy that you associate with. There's an old saying that thieves see thieves and liars see liars. People who lie all the time see liars everywhere. People who don't lie don't imagine that everybody's always lying to them, because it's not an energy that they concentrate on. We see people as we see ourselves. And so the peacock is one of these people that sees others as it sees itself, and it sees others in their true beauty just as it sees itself in its true beauty. And it really is one of these extremely, extremely rare individuals you can come across. And it's an energy that comes into our life that beckons us to be more like that. All right, guys, let's get right into your spreads. We're going to pull out some 3-card spreads. 4 to 8, we'll see how long we spend on it. All right, my lovely Cancers. And just may or may not resonate with you, and like with all the other things, just take what resonates with you. And if you can't relate, just let it go. All right. There we go. Fool energy coming out. It's been coming out. And there's the Judgment card. Good Lord. Judgment is coming out everywhere. All right, let's get right into it. The Fool, you come into the week with the sense of the Fool, right? And it's a new path, right? It's a whole new world for you. It's a new path that you're about to take. And you're feeling very young and enthusiastic and just ready, obviously, to take life on, right? The Fool also can indicate a big quantum leap that we have taken in some other area of our lives, because the Fool comes in when we're starting a new stage of learning in our lives. And those new stages only begin after we have learned something in a previous stage. So oftentimes the Fool not only hearkens us becoming the student again, but it is also a sign that we have in some area in our life resonated higher and become somewhat of a teacher, or we were no longer that student in that area because we've learned something, right? Student of that particular experience. So it's like you're making a quantum leap in your experience and your knowledge and wisdom, and yet at the same time this new path is setting you right back down at the Fool in terms of, once again, starting from scratch and learning, right? And this is the essence of the soul, slowly, evolving, right? Now, judgment has come in for everyone, and judgment is really interesting. Judgment is the card for all. It is judgment. It's for discernment rather. And so judgment talks about when we begin to really see a situation free from our own prejudices, free from our own sort of small, egotistical, self-centered way of thinking. We begin to see and really understand situations from all sides. We begin to look at situations with clear insight. It can be said that judgment is associated with the eye of Horus, which is, in wisdom do we see, and not through the ego. And it's in this way we begin to understand situations, and we begin to have different opinions of something that happened. We let go of perhaps judgments or the criticism that we've had of something before for a much more expanded view of that same scenario. And in this way, we increase our compassion, we increase our empathy, and we also increase our understanding of ourselves and others. It's life who proves this to us, right? Judgment is about life. It's the experience in life that we learn this through, because it's an example would be like when you're younger, you're very, very judgmental in certain situations. You're very sort of dogmatic about it, right? And you just think the world should be the way it is. But then suddenly through life and personal experience, you begin to learn that life isn't that way, and you can't account for every single contingency, and people are different, and there's emotions, and then there's circumstances, and there's so much that happens in life. And this idea of being so overly critical from a very sort of self-centered way of looking at life, the way you want it to be, it's just not reality. And so when you really truly when you're really conscious in your experience of life and learning from it, you begin to learn how to discern situations properly and how to make true judgments. And in this way, not being overly judgmental. And this is happening for you as well this week. This energy is coming in. Things are coming in that are allowing you to see a particular situation from a different side or a different point of view. And what before was an obstacle, in what area of your life before you was an obstacle because of the way you were looking at it, or the way you were discerning or judging it, really viewing it, valuing it, you have this kind of opening, this expansion, and you come up with a great solution. Ace of Swords talks about original thinking coming in, suddenly solutions come in, there's clarity that comes in. It's like, the sword of sort of understanding, right? Suddenly, okay, now I know which way to go forward. A plan is formed. You're able to just make decisions now because you know exactly which way to go, because the Ace of Swords points the way, right? Very, very beautiful. And I think this is certainly going to be a situation where you are clearing some obstacles in something, and this is about a new path in life, Cancer, that you're taking in some way or another. This is very sort of major energies, and so this could be in regards to a career or a relationship, or just a way of living your life. But whatever the case may be, this is going to be a great sort of epiphany for you this week. Justice, Libran energy. We don't do reversals for weeklies. 2 of Cups and the 5 of Pentacles. So some of you are dealing with a court situation this week coming into. You're trying to be really sort of like, it could be a court situation, but you come in, your energy, of course, is coming in trying to be really fair and balanced about something. 2 of Cups is in, and that's quite interesting. 2 of Cups talks about, a relationship with somebody else that you are also trying to balance, right? You're trying to find a way to communicate with each other so that it's fair and so that the relationship continues to be strong, right? And so Two of Cups is a coming together with someone, a balance that you have with someone, or a wishing to have a balance with someone. And so you're initiating that. But interestingly enough, you do have a Five of Pentacles. And I'm going to say that for some of you Cancers, you're trying to redress a situation or rebalance a love connection, and it turns out not to be the way you want it. Because Five of Pentacles talks about a power dynamic that happens, and you ultimately pay the price financially. I think for some of you, you may be dealing with a love connection with someone who isn't necessarily good for you. They may be a little bit toxic. They may be only interested in you for your money or what you can do for them. Or in some way or another, this attempt to rebalance this situation just somehow doesn't work out by the end of the week. Now, the energy that you're met with is also a feeling of cooperation. So this, interestingly enough, this power dynamic could come from the outside of this connection. So it could very well be, for some of you, you may come into your lover or something, and you guys come together after a period of being out of balance or not communicating well. You come together this week and you renew your bond, but this renewal of this bond to each other ends up pitting both of you as a unit against someone else or another group of people, and you're both kind of turned out, as it were, to the street or whatever. You're ostracized. The split happens. And this could very well be that somebody's not happy about you two getting together. Now that I feel a little bit stronger, because that's the energy that I'm feeling stronger, that because of your union with someone, and you come in with justice. Now, this again could be a court case or something. Could very well be that you have filed for divorce with someone, or you filed for a separation and you've gone after your true love. You guys get together now as a result of that. There's some hard times to come because everybody else around you is unhappy with what you guys have done. But you guys give in to your passion, your romantic feelings, and you move ahead and press ahead anyway. That feels much more like the scenario, certainly. And for some of you, if you are dealing with that, Five of Pentacles is certainly a power dynamic, but it is oftentimes a power dynamic in a situation that was going to happen anyway. So whether or not you ended up upsetting the apple cart with this union now, if it wasn't going to be this union now, it would have been this union later or another union later. This was bound to happen. King of Cups, Five of Wands, and the Lovers. I was wondering if the Lovers would show up. Gemini energy. King of Cups talking about this week, you really go into, you come into the week really wanting to go after your lover. You have someone that you have your eye on and you want to lock that down. You know what you want. You're not flighty. You're not the Knight of Cups. You're the King of Cups. And there's somebody that you have a very definite eye on and you want to make a relationship with them. The King of Cups is very direct. He can be oftentimes kind of possessive and jealous as well sometimes, but he's very direct. He knows what he wants. And you're met with the kind of Five of Wands, Cancer. King of Cups is Cancerian energy. You're met with a Five of Wands, and that's a lot of bickering and arguing. And I'm going to say that could very well be that you're just met with a person, you're meeting. I don't feel like this is your person that you have your eye on. I feel like this is energy that you're coming into from the outside again, right? I feel like, again, for some reason, you have an eye on somebody, but there's this energy around of a lot of angst and fighting. It could be that there's a competition, because Five of Wands is also a competitive sort of battle. So for some of you, you go into this week, with your eye on someone. You're really sort of the conqueror in this situation. You're the one who's sort of chasing, or you're the one who's sort of taking the dominant lead. Just ignore my cat in the background. And what you find yourself in is kind of almost a competitive situation where you find yourself battling against somebody else for this attention or for this person. It may not even be that it may not even be that you thought this is what would happen, but this is the energy that comes to you. So somebody is certainly being competitive with you. And you end the week with Lovers. And Lovers is interesting because Lovers is uh, it's a journey towards harmony with the lovers, you know, and in a love situation. It's the major arcana. So it's the essence of a love relationship. And that's when people have to accept their opposites. This is Gemini energy. So in a true lover's connection, soulmate connection, you have to accept that you are the opposite, right, of your lover. You have to accept each other truly and understand that only through the fact that we are with people who mirror the things we want to make better in ourselves, that we learn, we come to a oneness. So it's like this understanding that there's going to be difficult times with the good times. Are you willing to put the effort in? You know, are you willing truly to have this journey that will be, you know, sometimes you're not going to be on the same page, right? And you have to, this journey can only be a true good soulmate connection if you're willing to take that and understand that and learn from that. And you come into this with the understanding that you are dealing with two halves of a whole, right? But the two halves are not equal. They're equal, but they're not exactly the same. They're different. They're unique. And so understanding and accepting each other's uniqueness and differences is part of coming together. And are you willing to do that? And I think that that is a choice you're going to have to make. And you may be faced with that choice because suddenly you're faced with this battle, right? And it's like, uh-oh, you know, I think for some of you feel like, wow, I didn't know all of this was coming with, I didn't realize all this baggage was going to come with it. That there was going to be somebody who's competing with me, or there's going to be somebody who's going to actually make it difficult for me to get this person. And so this is an example of this event that happens, is almost an example of, listen, this is what it may be like in this connection. You may have to work a little harder than you thought for this connection, and you're going to be faced with this decision of whether or not you truly want it. Ace of Swords, Six of Swords, wow. And Seven of Swords, Jesus Christ. Seven of Swords has also been showing up a lot. The great dream thief, I call him. And here we have my two of my favorite toxic energies. 8 is, of course, the gaslighter, and 7 is the dream thief, right? Okay, so 8 is coming in with a feeling of, you know, this is the energy you're coming into the week with. In Cancer, be careful, because 8 of Swords is quite a toxic energy. But 8 of Swords is this feeling of not being able to, you feel like your hands are tied. You feel like, you know, you're alienated and people are giving you a hard time, but you don't really realize that a lot of this alienation you're feeling right now is because you've been acting like an asshole. You've been really stubborn, perhaps. You may have been very obstinate. You know, you may have recently just been really difficult to deal with. And I don't mean that in a bad way, Cancer. You know I love you. But what I'm saying is this is the energy. 8 of Swords is a person who, you know, they're very stuck in their ways. They're very opinionated, you know, and they don't make room for anybody else's conversation. And then what happens? They become alienated. Nobody wants to be around them. Oh, look at that. 10 of Swords popped out. Nobody wants to be around them, right? And then they feel like the whole world is out to get them. And if you're starting to resonate with this energy, you really need to think about a sense of like, well, look, you know, is this me? Is this really me? Or is somebody making me feel like this? Can somebody really make me feel like this? Or maybe I've been a bit of a prick lately. You know what I mean? This happens for everybody. We all can resonate with a little bit of 8 of Swords energy. It's when we stay in that energy that it's bad. But we can all find ourselves waking up to being a bit childish, having acted a bit like an ass, maybe not having made enough room for somebody else's opinions. But if you wake up to that, then you can free yourself from this feeling of being bound and being alienated. And you can always overcome this and make amends. So you come into the week with this energy, but you're met with a 6 of Swords in the sense that somebody in your life turns away from you now. They leave. You know, Cancer. I mean, I have to call it the way it is, but I think what happens is you come towards somebody this week and they've decided they've had enough of this, and they leave, they move on. And you end the week with the 7 of Swords, and 7 of Swords is the card for futility in Cancer. You end the week with trying everything you can to get this person back, but unfortunately it's a bit too late. You know, it's a bit too late. And I hate to say this, but it sounds harsh and everything, but it is, you know, it is what it is. And I think we've all been there. We've all messed up with a relationship and realized that, oh shit, maybe I took it one step too far. You know, maybe I just was not compromising enough. I put too many barriers up or whatever, or I overstepped my bounds too much. We all go there, but unfortunately, Cancer, with this situation, You know, this is the card for futility, and this is the card for leaving turmoil and moving ahead. Some of you Cancers are losing a love connection, this, you know, or a relationship with someone, and nothing you can do will bring them back. And I can tell you this much: if you're going through this, this is simply a lesson, because, you know, it's a lesson, right? It's a lesson, and it's a way for you to learn something and to resonate yourself higher so that this doesn't happen again. And I think we've all been there. I'm going to give one more reading so we can see. There you go. 5 of Swords, 7 of Pentacles, and Ace of Wands. So some of you certainly entered this week with a feeling of defeat. You know, it's just like a feeling of having tried everything and now you're done. You know, now you're done, and you're done with a particular scenario. Cancer, this is a feeling of really throwing your hands up with a relationship or a connection with someone who you're just done trying to fight them. You know it's not worth it. You know it's not going to work, and you're done trying to fight them, and you really walk away in a way of defeat, but like defeat, like acquiescing, like, okay, fine, you win. You know, and you're met with a 7 of Pentacles in a sense that rewards in your other area of life begin to come in, and you begin very quickly move ahead. It's almost as if as soon as you throw your hands up with this situation, a blockage has been removed, and suddenly there's this freshness in money and in your career, in your work area, that starts to come in. Reward starts to come in, money starts to come in. You begin to start to see the fruit of all your hard labor, and you end the week with a really sort of whole new outlook, a whole new enthusiasm, a whole new sort of sense of self-confidence about starting your life again, but starting your life in a way that you are very ambitious about. You double down in your commitment and confidence. This is very much in line with November's energy of letting go of toxic situations. And the last reading, the last forecast in a way was as well, because that was a learning process coming in for you, for some of you Cancers. And that is also a way of letting go of toxicity, but that's a way of letting go or purging toxicity within yourself. Okay, and that's the same thing, you know. It still counts as a period of getting rid of toxic energy in your life, whether it's from the inside or from the outside. It's still a cleansing. And here we have the same exact thing. You let go of a toxic connection with someone, and then you let go of it without any kind of looking back. You don't look back, you know, and you really move on, and you right away get reaffirmations that was the right decision. All right, guys, this is your reading for November 17th to the 23rd. I hope you enjoyed this, Cancer. Please take this with love. And if you did, please like, subscribe, and share. Don't forget to hit that bell notification so next time you can get the next Cancer upload. I do premiere all my videos, but I'm going to jump right back into the air sign. And so the next reading will be for Libra, and then I'm going to jump back to water. So we're going to do air, water until we're done with the air signs and the water signs, and then all the weeklies will be up. And we will carry on for the rest of the evening in that way. All right, it is Saturday, November 16th, and all the readings will be up before the day is over. All right, guys, you have a wonderful, wonderful week, and I shall see you next time. Bye-bye now.